Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas, NRG Stadium in Houston. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And right away he lost the football. But fortunately he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
On 1st and 10, Prescott being chased out left. And some room to roam now. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. Prescott looks to throw on first. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
1st down, Prescott. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. On 2nd down, Elliott. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And now running right through it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs, because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the 1st half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, There's nothing but room to run.
Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's third down.
46.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at
What the
14.
fuck is he doing? That fucking lineman?
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD. It was third down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Back to it after the pick six. Prescott. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on his first drive. Instead, second down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. This is Elliott, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
46.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 48. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick six. And just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski, that's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Back deep, Bruce Ellington. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Texans will take over at the 20. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. On 1st and 10, Watson. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. On 2nd down, here's Watson. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. Watson on 1st down. And pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Drops it to Blue, complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now, the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it, we can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
This is Miller. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. Jeff Heath, the one to bring him down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
To throw on second is Watson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation. And that's why it got knocked away there. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down. Now a first down throw, Watson. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 5 yards that time, taking it himself, and he has enough for the first.
I do know that owners, when they watch their quarterbacks run with the football, they usually hold their breath because that's the franchise. But when you're getting that kind of a game, hard to argue against calling it.
On first down, Watson. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Fuller. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Fuller brings it in over the middle, and he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now Watson on 3rd and goal. And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
Fairbairn able to put this one through, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. On the tackle, Tyrann Mathieu.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Prescott now on 2nd down. And Beasley with it over the middle. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Escaping the pressure right. And this is caught at the 20. And he'll be down deep in Houston territory. A big play here for Dallas. 42 yards. A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Took nearly the entire first half, but a first red zone opportunity for him here. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
47.
Prescott from the gun. A dump off to Elliott. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
47. 26.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a 3rd down. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when he clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle it. That's what you're looking for.
26.
Prescott on 3rd and 2. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Jeff Swaim, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys cut into that lead. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough, they couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him with contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that'll help him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
He's going to let this one go deep. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Steps, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. As the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number one. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down and needing long yardage to try and pick up a 1st down. And they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down. But guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And here comes the Texans now. There's really no reason to change what they've been doing to this point. They've got the lead. They've looked good this first half.
I agree with you totally, and a lot of coordinators, play callers feel exactly the same way. Until you stop what I'm doing, why should I make any changes? But there are a few that kind of outguess themselves or try to outguess the opponent, and they try to consider what they would do to take things away and go to those plays right away. It'll be fun to watch when they get to the second half to see which way they go.
Yeah, but to this point, it certainly hasn't been broke. We'll see if they try to fix anything. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now Watson from the gun on 3rd down. And finds his target, Fuller. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. First down, it's Watson going up top. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller in the final seconds of the first half. And the Texans will extend their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number two.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now here come the Cowboys. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final play of the half, Prescott. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's caught inside the 35. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we know, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Watson to throw on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He's going to float this over the middle, deep into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46, and he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he gets it down to the 32. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Drops it underneath, Elliott. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Gets his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. On 2nd down, Prescott again. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Michael Gallup, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys get a bit closer. Cowboys going for 2. Now, last season, they were 0 for 3 on 2-point tries. Didn't convert a single one.
Switch, and hey, here we go, 46. Gun. 46.
To the air again, Prescott. Flush to his right. And he'll find his way in for 2. And we're back to a 2-score game. The lead's cut to 16. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
To throw is Watson. Looking to throw on 2nd down. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Taco Charlton in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
Come back, come back. Switch. Shut down. Motion. Check. Shift.
Out of the gun, Watson. And the pressure gets to him again. Tyrone Crawford. He's the one to get him this time. And back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Shane Leckler now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. They come in off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball that cut down that lead. Now the defense has done their part, got them the football back.
Momentum started to shift a little bit when they scored the touchdown. It increased when the defense got them the ball back. Momentum definitely in their favor. Now they got to keep things cranking, keep it on high so they can keep cutting into that lead.
Eluding the pressure right. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
A A second down throw for Prescott. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Prescott now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Swing up there, right. Go right.
Prescott looks to throw on first. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
10th carry now for Elliott. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They go play action here on first down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking to get it to Allen Hurns that time. And now it's second down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. A second down throw for Prescott. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, black 22! Black 22!
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. On 2nd down, here's Watson. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. Unable to corral him, he fights through. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. He got 29 yards that time.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he's going to take this down to about the 17. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Watson into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. His defense figured out something in the locker room. That's 2 third-quarter picks now.
And you just wonder, did he get too comfortable in the locker room himself? His team has the lead. Take care of the football. He's putting them in jeopardy right now.
Here we go, 46. 41, 46.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. The Cowboys on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Prescott on 1st down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. Prescott yet again. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. DJ Reader in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now Prescott. Buying time to his left. And he's got some space here. And he's going to be out of bounds right at the 40. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
1st down, Prescott. He's going to put one out here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make this a 2nd down. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the 1st down. Close it out.
He's got It's complete. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. It doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Throwing, Prescott. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just...
And Beasley's got it. Touchdown, Cowboys. Cole Beasley, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys cut into that lead. Here we go now as we get set for a big two-point conversion. And again, it's Prescott. Flushed out right. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And a short return to the 6-yard line. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Watson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. A first down carry now for Miller. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. On second down, here's Miller. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he stopped immediately there. And now right out of the 2-minute break, We'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Watson's going to throw it here. Throw left side complete. That's Griffin. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. The second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. On 3rd down, Miller. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps for these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
They keep it with Miller on first down. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal, that's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Texans, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Buffalo Bills next week. Meanwhile, for Dallas, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville. So that's a wrap.